Today, I am going to take you on a full community tour of one of Phoenix's largest and most popular 55 plus communities, and that is Pebblecreek. We will tour and discuss everything about Pebblecreek, from the amenities to the surrounding area, some of the pros and cons of the community, and of course talk about the housing, the prices, and the different options that you have. Now, before we dive into the rest of the video, I have to let you know about my free 55 plus community guide and spreadsheet that I offer. All you have to do is send me an email and I'll send you your copy of this guide, but it compares all of the different 55 plus communities in the whole Phoenix Valley. It compares their home prices, the locations, the amenities they offer, the fees that they have, and really just everything you need to know. So send me an email and I'll send that right over to you. Let's jump right into the most important thing, the amenities. This community has two large clubhouses. One of them is going to be the Eagle's Nest Clubhouse, and the other will be called the Tuscany Clubhouse. The Tuscany Clubhouse is going to be the larger of the two, and it is also the newer clubhouse. Here they have an indoor pool, they have an outdoor pool, a ton of sports courts, they have an art studio, a restaurant, they have a golf club here, and just a whole lot more. And of course, they do have a fitness center here as well. The Eagle's Nest Clubhouse on the other side of the community is a little bit smaller, but it is still very large, and it is also a little bit older. This is the original clubhouse in the community, and it offers a pool, a restaurant, they have a ton of sports courts here, meeting rooms for different clubs, and of course a fitness center. So while that community center is a little bit older, it is still very nice and well updated. Pebblecreek is probably the most active retirement community in the whole Phoenix Valley, and that is in part because of its really large size, but also because they go out of their way to put together a lot of events, a lot of sports tournaments. They have a ton of clubs that you can join, and they just really do a good job keeping everyone involved and active here. If you're looking for different clubs and groups to join, then Pebblecreek is going to be the #1 place in the whole Phoenix Valley for you. They have so many that you can join here. Aside from the clubs, this is just a very physically active community as well. They have a ton of pickleball courts here, and they're always having a tournament or group play and different things like that. The courts are always being used. There's people walking throughout the community on their golf carts, riding bikes, and overall it is just a very, very active community physically and mentally by getting involved in the clubs as well. They also have two 18-hole golf courses here in Pebblecreek. So if you like to golf, this is another great feature that the community has. If you'd like to know the prices of the golf or for a membership, just send me an email because it changes all the time. Send me an email and I can send you the full brochure on that. But it is overall a really great golf course, and it's nice to have 36 full holes for you. And I know pickleball is the main thing for most people right now, but they still have other sports courts here, like tennis courts, bocce ball courts, they have pool table rooms, and a ton of different things like that as well. The location of a community to choose to spend your retirement years is of course very important, so let's talk about what is around this community. Pebblecreek is located in Goodyear, Arizona, and it has very easy freeway access. The 303 freeway and the I-10 meet right next to Pebblecreek, and this means you have great access to downtown and most importantly the airport. You are only about 25 to 30 minutes away from the airport here. The biggest downside of this location is that you are right next to Luke Air Force Base. Now, this isn't unique to Pebblecreek. If you're looking for a 55 plus community anywhere in Phoenix, you're most likely going to be looking on the west side, and that's where the Luke Air Force Base is. But what makes this a little bit worse in Pebblecreek than other communities is that you are so close to the base that they are often flying lower when they're going over this community as opposed to other ones that are a little further away. So the noise is just a little bit more extreme here. Now, it's not too bad. You're going to hear it a couple times a day. It is not a huge deal for me. I personally live in the West Valley, so I do hear the jets fly over me sometimes, but it really doesn't bother me at all. But I do get how that will be an issue for some people. Just know if you're looking anywhere in the West Valley, you will have some jet noise. Other than this though, the community has a great location. It is probably the most central 55 plus community in Phoenix, and all around you have a ton of restaurants, shopping centers, and different things like that. Now, back to talking about the community itself. There are two separate sections to Pebblecreek. Naturally, they are called the Eagle's Nest section and the Tuscany section, and that is of course where their respective clubhouses are located. So these two separate sections are actually completely separated by a neighborhood road that goes through here, so people that don't live in the community may be driving through that road. Now, it is separated by 2 gates on each side, so it's still very secure, and both communities have access to each other's amenities. So you can just hop in your golf cart and drive from the Eagle's Nest to the Tuscany side or vice versa anytime that you want. It's not like you're crossing a major freeway, it's a smaller neighborhood road, but it is something that separates the 2 sides. So the Eagle's Nest side is going to be the original side of Pebblecreek. It has the original clubhouse over there and a lot of older homes. They're built in the 90s and early 2000s. So overall, the Eagle's Nest side is going to be a little bit older, but they still have great homes over there. On the other hand, the Tuscany side is going to be the newer section. So the clubhouse is newer over here, and also the homes are much newer. In fact, they're still building brand new homes on the Tuscany side today. Now, the 2 sides do share amenities. So if you live on the Eagle's Nest side, you can drive your cart over to Tuscany or vice versa, like I mentioned earlier. So it's not a huge deal which side you live on. It's just the fact that the Eagle's Nest side, most of the homes you find there are going to be a little bit older, and on the Tuscany side, they're just going to be newer. So some people only want to look on the Tuscany side because they're looking for newer homes, but you need to understand that, of course, with newer homes, it's going to be a little bit of a higher price. And as I mentioned before, both clubhouses are very large, but the Tuscany one is usually more preferred by people because it is just larger, it has a little bit more amenities there, and it's just slightly more luxurious. The buzz at the Tuscany side is often a lot different than the Eagle's Nest side. I go to the Eagle's Nest and it's a little more calm and laid back and peaceful, and I go to the Tuscany side and it is just buzzing with energy. People are all over the place playing pickleball, swimming, in the gym, but the Eagle's Nest side is still very active as well, but the Tuscany side is definitely the heart of it all. Sometimes you drive through these different communities and it's just desert landscape everywhere, and it's very brown and very bland, and well, we are in Arizona, we're in the desert, so sometimes it's going to be like that. But Pebblecreek is very nice in that it has quite a bit of greenery. They have streams running through the community, and a lot of the greenery comes from the 36 holes of golf that is, going all throughout the community. So that's where a lot of the greenery comes from, but it definitely does have a nice resort feel to it. There is also kind of a third clubhouse in this community. It is basically just a smaller pool area, and it's in the far corner of the community, and that is because they were building the new homes out there, and those residents felt that they were too far away from the amenities, so Robson added a new community center out there with a pool for those residents. This community is, of course, guarded and gated 24 hours a day, so it is a very secure community, and only people that have good reason are allowed to get in. Now, some people really don't care about this at all. If you live there full time, it's probably not the biggest deal for you, but if you're only going to be here 6 months out of the year and the home is sitting vacant for half the year, then it is really nice to have the peace of mind that the community is guarded and gated, and not just anyone can drive on in here. You're seeing all these beautiful amenities, the security, and everything in Pebblecreek, and you're probably wondering, how much am I going to pay every month for this? And you do, of course, pay an HOA fee. That fee is going to be $257 per month, and that includes all of your access to the amenities, the common areas, the security, and everything in the community. There is also a capital improvement fee here in Pebblecreek, and this is going to be a one-time fee. You only pay it when you buy a home in the community, and it is going to be just a tad over $3,000. If you want to compare that to other communities and see if the fees here are higher or lower than some of the other options, just send me an email and I'll send you my spreadsheet which compares all of the communities in Phoenix and their fees. The median home sales price in Pebblecreek is right at $535,000, but you can find options for a little bit of an older home that is a little bit smaller in the mid to low $300,000 range if that's what you're looking for. We do have luxury homes in this community that are on the golf course, very high-end and luxurious, and those can go all the way up to above $1.3 million. Like I mentioned, they are still building brand new homes here in this community too, but you do pay quite a premium for them. On the low end, you can find them around $650,000 to $700,000, but for the most part, you are going to probably be between $750,000 and $900,000 for those new homes, and even higher if you choose a larger model. From the amenities to the security and safety of the community, along with the great location, you can see why Pebblecreek is one of the most popular communities in all of Phoenix. But what really makes Pebblecreek stand out from the other communities is just how active it is. I told you earlier clear how people are walking around everywhere. They're playing pickleball, they're riding their bikes, but there's also hundreds of clubs and groups that you can join in this community to fit your interests, such as ceramics, cooking classes, and different things like that. And they have events going on here all the time. So really, Pebblecreek does this best out of any of the other communities to really keep you involved. If you're looking to retire in Arizona, there are so many different communities to consider, and that's why I make these videos. I want you to explore all of your options in the Phoenix Valley. And that's also why I put together my 55 plus community guide and spreadsheet. It's so easy to compare all of the different communities and make sure you're not missing any of the options out there. So just send me an email and I'll send that free copy over to you. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, you're probably gonna like my Victory at Verado video also. Click right here and you can check that out.